Well, many of us right now are making our summer vacation plans, and tonight 13 Investigates has an important warning for you.
Renting a car on your next trip could now result in thousands of dollars in unexpected fees you've never even heard of.
Tonight, our Bob Siegel explains the charge that is now catching people by surprise and how you can avoid it.
Brad Pressler recently rented a car when he discovered something he did not recognize. It's right there in the contract, where it says he's liable for any loss of use to the rental car.
I've never heard anybody talk about it before.
Loss of use means if you rent a car and get in an accident, you're not liable just for the cost of fixing the car. You also have to reimburse the rental car company for every day that the rental car is out of commission while it's being fixed. Loss of use used to not be that big a deal, but because of the pandemic, it is now.
That's because a huge car shortage means rental car prices have soared to record levels. And many body shops are backed up weeks, even months, waiting on parts. So the days of a $30 a day rental car that could be fixed in a week are long gone. Brad's rental car costs $91 a day, and he learned a body shop would need 2.5 months to repair any damage.
At $91 a day, that's about $7,000 that I could have been liable for. There's an exposure there that I don't think most people are aware of.
And if you think your personal auto insurance policy will cover loss of use charges, think again.
The whole loss of use thing is a bit of a gray area to me.
Tom DiNapoli found out about loss of use the hard way when he traveled to Germany to show his dog at an international competition. Tom rented a small van in Frankfurt, and a few days later, someone backed into the rental vehicle, leaving a noticeable dent.
8 to 12-inch circle, this big. This is absolutely a minor cosmetic damage dent to the door.
But when Tom returned home, Hertz claimed that 12-inch dent was major structural damage.
This bill was for $15,000.
$15,000.
$15,000 for every nut, bolt, and screw that they felt eligible to replace.
Included in that huge bill, $2,000 for loss of use. Tom thought his insurance would cover the cost, but it did not.
No, insurance company will not cover loss of use. And look at the fine print on what they do cover, because loss of use is beyond scope of most insurance coverage.
The Insurance Information Institute says Tom is right.
Loss of use isn't something that's standard on most policies. That's why it's important to check. It's something that you're likely going to have to ask for.
13 Investigates contacted the nation's 10 largest auto insurance companies to see if they cover loss of use involving rental cars. Some do, some don't, some fall in the middle. So what can you do to protect yourself from what could be thousands of dollars in unexpected charges for renting a car? First, call your insurance company to see if your specific policy includes loss of use, or if it's a coverage you can add.
You should know in advance before you go to that counter what your personal policy covers and what it doesn't cover.
Next, take a closer look at your credit cards. Some include loss of use protection when you use that credit card to pay for a rental car. And finally, you can always buy the rental car company's damage protection plan at the rental counter. It covers damage if you get into an accident, including loss of use. But that's expensive. An extra $25 to $40 each day you have the rental car. If you're already covered through your own insurance or credit card, you can skip that extra cost, according to the CEO of rental car website autoslash.com.
You may be actually doubly insured, so to pay for yet a third level of insurance on top of that, it may just be overkill.
The one thing you don't want to do, assume that you're covered for loss of use if you actually aren't.
Loss of use is definitely not something that's top of mind for most consumers, but unfortunately it's something that renters have to deal with.
We've compiled a list of insurance companies and their loss of use policies so you can see if you're already covered. We've also got a list of some credit cards that cover loss of use fees. All that's posted right now at WTHR.com.